Hi everyone, welcome to Rain Francis Art for Kids. My name is Rain. In this series, Animal Farm, we draw all sorts of animals. So let's draw. Today I'm going to show you how to draw this cute little penguin. So let's begin. This is what you'll need for today's drawing. We've got a piece of paper here. I have a dollar store drawing pad. It's 8.5 by 11 inches wide. I have a pencil. I have an eraser. And I have my good old paintbrush that I've never used for painting. That'll help me wipe off all the dust and eraser bits from my page. Now today I'm using markers. I've got some of these dollar store markers here. I've got a light blue and a black. And I have these other types of markers. I have a pink, yellow, and black. Now the difference, you might want to know why I have two different blacks. Actually, I'm going to have 3 different blacks. I'll show you that in a minute. It's because of the size. You see? This one here is thicker and this one's thinner. So that's why I want to have 2 different sizes. If you have 2 different sizes, great. If you don't even worry about it, okay? And I said I probably will have 3 different ones, 3 different sizes. I actually have another black fine liner here that I might use, but that's optional. You don't have to use that. You could use coloring pencils if you want for this. I just think markers will be a lot more vibrant for our little penguin. So why don't we begin? We're going to start by drawing our penguin, and he's going to look like a little sort of a number 8. Now, I'll show you what I mean by that. See what I mean? It kind of looks like the number 8, or maybe a penguin, or not a penguin, a snowman. Let me just erase this here. Now, I just want to let you know, I'm going to be erasing some of my pencil marks. So, what I'm doing first is I'm drawing the penguin in pencil, then I'm outlining with a marker. I'm going to wait for the marker to dry, and then I'm going to erase my pencil marks. You don't have to do that, but that's what I'm going to do. So I just wanted to let you know that in advance, okay? Now what we'll do is we'll give him a hat. Now his hat goes around his head like this, and it's going to go through his head like that. We're going to erase this line here, but we'll give him a nice big pom-pom. Why don't we go ahead and erase that line right away? And if you accidentally erase some of the hat or some of the penguin, all you have to do is draw it back in, okay? Like I erased some of the hat there. There we go. And we're going to give him some arms. He's got 2 arms coming out here, one like this and one like this. Now let's draw his beak. His beak is just a triangle right in the middle of his face there. Just a little triangle. Okay, and now watch what I'm doing. I'm taking my pencil and I'm going to draw a little bit of a curve up like that, just to the top where it reaches his head, and on the other side the same thing, just a little curve up like this. Okay, and all around his body we're going to do another kind of an 8 shape, just like this, all around his body. There we go. Now let's give him some eyes. We're going to do circle eyes this time. Usually I do oval eyes, but I'm going to give him little circle eyes. Like that. But with a little circle at the bottom. Same thing over here. Circle with a little circle at the bottom. And of course he needs feet. So we're just going to give him 1, 2, 3 toes. And same thing here. 1, 2, 3 toes. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to outline some of the penguin, not the whole thing. I'm going to outline the hat with my marker. And I've got my black fine liner marker here. You can use any marker you want. I'm outlining with black and the pom-pom. And I'm not worried too much about staying in the lines because I am going to erase my pencil. I'm also going to outline the beak, the eyes, there we go. And that little part here in the middle, that's going to all be black, so I'm going to just outline that anyway. All right. And I'm going to outline his feet. There we go. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to let my marker dry for a little bit because I want to erase all of the pencil marks where I outlined. These I don't mind keeping because that's all going to be black, so I don't have to erase those because you won't see them. So I have to make sure that my marker is dry. Now you can do a test for your marker. Just take a plain piece of paper, do a couple of, drawings on it, and see if you can erase it without everything smudging. Then you know it's dry. The reason why I like this ink pen here is because it dries really, really fast. So now I can go in and I can erase. And all I'm doing is, like I said, I'm just erasing lightly the areas that I outlined. I'm not erasing everything, okay? Just the areas that I outlined, so I don't see my pencil marks there. But everything else you can keep as is, just like I said, where I outlined in ink pen for now. And when you're erasing, if you choose to do this, if you accidentally erase some of the penguin's, body like I did there, just gonna put it right back in. Okay? So now why don't we start with his hat? And I chose blue for the hat, so I'm just going to use my marker and color in the entire hat blue. I like to do the outlines first and then coloring in, because I find that it gives me a little bit of a guide so that I know where I'm coloring. So I kind of outlined the whole thing. Now I can just fill in the color and I don't have to worry. I'm like, oh, I have to stop there. Oh, I have to stop here because that's where my outline is, it helps me. That's the way I do it. Obviously, you can color any way that you want that makes you feel comfortable. But I do it that way, and sometimes I just do lines like that when I'm coloring with marker. If I have a large area, I just kind of color in with lines. He's got a nice, bright blue hat. As you know, penguins live in the Antarctic, South Pole. I'm sure there are some in the North Pole too. And it gets cold for them, right? Okay. I'm sure he doesn't really need a hat, but I gave him one anyway. Now what I'm going to do is take my yellow and I'm going to color in that little triangle. That's his beak. And his feet. His feet are yellow too. I'm going to be careful not to get any outside the lines, but if you accidentally get some in here, it's not a big deal because that's going to be black. And black is darker than yellow and it's going to cover it. But if you can, just try to stay in the lines. Get those little feet. I guess, what are they called? The flippers of the penguin. I thought about doing a penguin today because we're still in winter here and it's still quite cold. And I was thinking of those poor little penguins when they're, out in the cold. How do they keep warm? They all huddle together, you know, to keep warm. All right, now I'm going to take my black color and I'm going to use the thinner black one because I'm going to color in his eyes here. I think I have a little eraser mark there. No, that was a little pencil that I forgot to erase. There we go. I'm just going to color in those little circles, his pupils, right here. There we go. That's all done. And remember that stripe we put in here, in between his two eyes? Let's color that in black too. I'm being real careful here because you can't erase marker. So I don't want to get any marker into the blue, any black into the blue. There we go. Now you can continue with whatever black marker you have. I'm going to this dollar store one because it's thicker at the end. And what I'm doing is I'm going to basically color in the entire outline, not the inside. I want to leave the inside white. But you see that sort of 8 shape that we did here on both sides, and his arms. They're all going to be black. But let's be careful. This stays white. His body, that stays white. So we'll just do the arms and that little outline of the 8 shape that we did for his body. That's why I told you don't worry about the pencil marks here, because the black is covering it, you see. Now I'm just going to go and carefully do my little outline to help guide me so that I know where to fill in the black. Okay, so I'm just going to fill in all that black here. All right, I think our little penguin is looking really cute. I'm just being careful because I don't want to get any black into his feet. There we go. He looks so cute. Let's do a little bit of detail. Now first what I want to do is just put a little bit of detail in his hat. No big deal. I'm just putting a few little black stripes. Just like that. Okay? And I think I'm going to give him some eyebrows. Just black eyebrows. Like that. And we did bring out the pink. So let's give him rosy cheeks. Just little circles of pink. And that's our penguin. Wasn't that fun, my friends? Now don't forget, sign your work. Always sign your work. I want you to be really, really proud of what you've done today because you've created a beautiful work of art. You've created a beautiful little penguin. I hope that you enjoyed this lesson, my friends. And remember, Mom and Dad, if you post your kids' art on Instagram, don't forget to tag me. The link is in the description below or in the About section of my channel. So we'll see you next time on Animal Farm. Thanks for watching. Bye.